You wanted to know if you should JV. Let me tell you about it. First and foremost, right? What's JV, Eric? JV stands for joint venture. And so what that entails is usually you're joining forces with another partner, another member, a friend, colleague, what have you. In this specific explanation, we're in the real estate market. And so you're JVing with somebody who either is more knowledgeable, has more resources, has the experience, or is just looking to kind of coach you or mentor you, right? And so, why would you JV with anybody? First and foremost, right? Now that we understand what JVing is, joint venture, right? The reason you want to JV, let's say this is your first deal, right? Letting go of the control, right? The OCD of wanting to control everything, the entire deal, is what's really going to save you and help you get that deal to the finish line where you really need it to go, right? Because when we don't JV and we think we can take it from A, B, C, D all the way to Z, we oftentimes stumble all the way to Z when if we would have JV'd with someone, right? Someone with experience, knowledge, or somebody with a buyer, then we would not have to stumble, right? So here are the benefits of JVing. JVing with someone who has a buyer. That means that all you have to do is the acquisitions, right? All you need to do is acquire said property, bring that contract, right? Lock it up, JV with someone who has buyers, for example, like myself. Say you lock something up in Florida. Hey, Eric, I've got this contract. I underwrote it. It's a heck of a deal. Do you have a buyer? Absolutely. And so that's one benefit. Here's the second benefit. Time. The value of time is invaluable, right? I mean, you can't put a dollar on time because we never get it back. Basically, the very first part of this video was, what is JV, right? We'll never get the time that we just spent watching that. And so time is very, 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 very valuable, right? And so JVing with someone brings you time back to acquire more deals, to network with other individuals doing deals that then you can JV with, and then disposition, sell those deals, sell that paper, that contract. So that's two benefits. Here's the third one. Networking, right? You get to network, you get to make new relationships with investors, with buyers, with sellers, what have you, whatever the case may be, right? Whatever the JV may be. And so make sure you're JVing. Do not try to run this show all by yourself, especially if it is your first deal, right? I understand the whole mantra, fail forward, stumble forward. Trust me, it is easier to JV to get that deal to the finish line because you'll learn more and quicker instead of potentially you taking this deal all the way to Z yourself. You miss something in the contract, or you get the wrong title agent or title escrow, escrow officer, or the buyer, right? Whatever terms you said doesn't match with the buyers. And so you want to make sure that when you're taking A to Z, your experience, you have buyers, or whatever it is for that particular deal. I would highly advise, if it's your first deal, do not go A to Z by yourself. That's all I'm saying. It's easier to go A to Z with a team, someone who can do the TC, transaction coordination, someone who can bring the buyer, et cetera, so on and so forth. And so that would be the most important takeaway here is do not take it from A to Z alone. It's much more fun. You get to enjoy it, right? You get to network. You get to really build that pipeline up once you start networking and JVing with others, right? The more you JV, the more others are going to bring you a deal back. Like, man, I remember Eric, he JV'd with me and we made this spread really work. Let me go and take something back to him, right? So always be a giver, right? Always be a giver. Make sure when you JV, you have contracts, a JV agreement in place. Make sure your contract, protects you, the buyer, and the seller, right? Make sure it's fair for everyone. And so that would be the takeaway. go from A to Z with a team. And so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment, like. Don't forget to subscribe. It's free, right? Dropping valuable content every day. See you guys on the next one. I got a real good one.